Hello, me, Shed, iPods, you know the deal. And shout out to anyone who's been to iPods for a while or just getting into them. For example, all you young people trying to circumvent phone bans at school. Read the fine print, they might be banning headphones, earphones, earbuds as well. They can get you anyway. When I was at school, they had record players in classrooms and you could take your own records in and play them, and it was an important developmental process, I think. Even when, like me, you took in the Supertracks compilation and people, shall they remain nameless? No, Susan Smith, try to humiliate you by saying, oh, I'd never buy that, I've got all the tracks on the original recordings. Well, I hadn't, Susan, so there. And while we're naming people, apologies to Nigel Winterburn, because I borrowed his copy of a Yes album and he gave it him back and he said it was scratched, and it probably was because my dad's record player was rubbish. Anyway, I am presenting this artifact to you in the way that I first saw it and in the way that I presented it to the woman at the car boot sale who was selling it. I said, how much was this? And I don't know how appealing it looks, but, well, I'll not tell you how much she said. I'll tell you in a bit. You can see there's a headphone jack and an aux cable, and when I turn it round you'll see it in all its glory. Just bear with me because there's an aerial. You'll probably see it there, not aerial. There it is. There was a time when you'd get an actual extendable aerial that you could extend and look cool, but it's all wires these days and they're limited functionality, as you'll probably see when I try and get the DAB to work. But this is a Panasonic SCHC3DB, and if you can see down, just lift it up a little bit in that corner, there's a DAB radio sign and MASH, MASH, which is something to do with CD technology, and also MP3. There were editions of this that didn't have the DAB feature, and some reviews complain about that, but this one does. I won't be able to demonstrate it particularly well, but I'll try later on. This has got 40 watts of power, and what's funky about it, apart from its obvious dirtiness, if you look at the dust on there, which I might try and clean off, it's got this clear little perspex window. It's got an on button, which is over here, which if I press it, rewards you. There you go, you didn't see that. All the way over there with a reassuring light. And that says BBC Radio, because as later on I'll just be testing the DAB features. Look at this. Look at that. I think this thing here, which you can press in, just tilts your iPod dock towards you so you can slide an iPod of your choice in. Make sure it's connected and then retract it. I don't know if that's... there you go, it's booting up Rockbox for you. iPod docks fall into two categories, those that can handle Rockbox and those that can't. Although this one seems to now be going into stock and there's nothing on the stock, so we better just reboot it back into Rockbox. The lock's on, as you can see from the side. Lockbox reboot. I'll let that reboot off camera and I'll show you the CD. Look, if I press CD open and close, let's close that first. That's open, so that's what we want to close. There we go, and then CD goes like that. Again, a bit dusty. A professional would have a CD to hand to bang it in there and show you how it works. Don't think I have. Let's close it again. Let's see if you have to close that one and then open this one, which is a bit frustrating. There we go. I think that window's a little bit fiddly and unnecessary, to be honest, but obviously got no remote. Remote would have been handy. Let's just restart whatever we're playing and push play on here. There we go. No signal. So it looks like this is one that doesn't. There could be all kinds of things going on. This is a bit rubbish. I'm going to start this again. Let's resume playback here. While it's playing. This is new and it's not. It needs a really good key press. So may well need to get in and clean it. But my recent experiences of getting into these are not great because they're just not. Yeah, that wheel is definitely malfunctioning. And the play button only opens and closes. That only plays CDs. I'm not sure I like it. It's a bit of a faff. But what I'm going to do is I will clean it up and see if we can. Let's just try the. Oh, there's the iPod play button, you idiot. What does it say, iPod?
Gentleman thief.
Oh, no, no, I'm hardly a Raffles.
You're hardly a what?
Raffles, you know,
So,
the original
it's playing
Gentleman
there.
Thief in the E.W. Horning books.
You've got an aux cable, you've got DAB, which was tuned to radio 2. Some noise. I might buy one of those external DAB aerials for the shed. Let's just turn that off for a bit. Anyway, it's no remote, which would have been nice. I think you can get one on eBay for about 11 quid. Its reviews reviewed the price at about £129 when it was reviewed by Hi-Fi and others. Came out in about 2009, I think. No, 185 when it was reviewed. You can get a near mint on eBay today for £129. This is clearly not mint by any stretch of the imagination. It needs a bit of cleaning with something. I'll give it a clean. You can wall mount it apparently. It doesn't come with a manual, but there's one available online. I'll play around with it, see what I think. The price the woman asked for when I presented her that was £2 English, which I paid very happily. As I say, it's a kind of middle of the road one. If you wanted one on eBay, you're probably looking 30-40 quid. Very nice, quite big, quite long. Sound quality, I think, is pretty good actually. I was quite happy with it. I go back to iPod Play. It does seem to handle Rockbox. It's reading.
No.
Oh, you should read them. They're quite jolly.
Double X.
Yes. I'd lend you my own copy, but you know how it is. You lend
Right.
books to people and you never seem to get them back.
Enjoy your random
Anyway,
finds
the
at random
difference
car
here-
boot sales. Enjoy your music. Enjoy your life, and I'll see you next time. Peace and love. Peace and love. Peace and love.